when introducing your significant other to your family, what is the rundown you tell them before introducing them to the family? Like, do you tell them don't do this, or you say, hey, be aware of that? Because let's just say a man introduced his new girlfriend to his family, and it didn't go as planned. So I want to know, what is something that you tell your significant other, like, when you just first started dating them, like when, like that weird in-between phase.
Okay.
So who wants to go first? Or you want me to go first?
What do you tell, or you're telling your family, like, as an introduction?
You're telling your significant other before you go to the fam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, I was going to do it the opposite way anyway.
You could do both ways if you want.
Well, I tell my significant other, listen, because usually I have nicknames with my significant others. I call them whatever I call them. So they can, that's what I dress them as. Okay. And I tell them, like, hey, listen, those names do not come out around any time during the reunion of my family thing. I'll be like, yo, listen, there's no reason you should be calling me what you call me.
Like Monsters Inc. Schmootsy Poo.
Exactly. Behind closed doors, I am not your schmootsy poo.
Good heavens.
Okay? For the moment being, I'm sorry. And then when I go to my family side, I go like, all those family nicknames, they don't exist. Yeah. I will not answer you if you call me by whatever family name that you think I'm going to answer to, because I do have little family nicknames that are pretty, to me, embarrassing. So I kind of like want to keep it behind closed doors and stuff, like,
Okay.
I feel like I don't have that problem, like with nicknames for me personally. My family, at least a lot of the people in my extended family, or just my family in general, they always called me Little James because my dad is Big James.
Are you a junior?
No, we have different middle names.
Okay.
But do you see how it could have been changed very drastically if I was just called Junior other than Little James?
Yeah.
Or Little Seabass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You do get that. So I make sure, like, look, if you're not calling me Junior, just miss me with it.
I don't know. When they call me Little James, like, I don't know, at this point, it's like, I kind of sound like a rapper. But my aunts, both on my mom's side, they call me, little guy. They've been calling me that for years, and that's like a normal thing for the aunts to do. That doesn't bother me. I'm like, okay, that's normal.
So what is something that you tell your significant, like, okay, so for Sebastian, I'm not done with you now, okay? Before I jump onto you, James, I want to know, like, do you tell your family anything to be aware of your significant other when going in? Like, is there anything that you always mainly tell them? Like,
do not call me by my family nickname is usually what I say.
Okay, so you tell them don't call me by family nickname, and then you tell your significant other don't call me our own nicknames.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you. Okay, that's the part where I was a little confused. So you just say no nicknames altogether.
No nickname. Do not, if you're not saying Sebastian, Seabass, or cousin, brother, sis. I mean, I'm not a girl, so
sis.
Yeah.
Now you're sis to us.
No, well, no.
Sis forever.
I'm not sis.
Okay, I see.
Sorry.
So, I get it. So you don't want nicknames. Okay, that's interesting.
Because
I can understand why with the family hearing. Yeah,
I can get that. I'm a very private guy, you know what I mean?
I can understand why.
Okay.
And I like to think I'm a trendsetter, so I don't like people stealing my...
Okay.
Oh, I see you're gatekeeping now, too. Oh, there's multiple layers to this.
What about you, James? What is something that you tell your significant other to be, I guess, aware of with the fam, and then, like, what about vice versa?
Well, with significant others, I would usually say, so my mom, she's cool. She can be cool. Just keep in mind all the stuff I've mentioned previously. Like, usually I'll mention ahead of time. Like before, I'll be like, what's happened with me and her, or like what.
Do you want to go into detail about that?
Not really, but but basically, like, I'll be like, okay, yeah, just keep in mind she can go off the rails. Just play it cool, play it cool. Don't take any of it personally. Don't take anything personally. My dad, he's a real kidder. So anything he says, it's not anything personal. It's like he's just playful banter, you know?
He's just shooting.
Yeah. And just be aware of my aunts, the Mo sisters. Oh, man. Once they start fighting, you can't stop them. They all got some undiagnosed ADHD, I'm telling you.
Damn.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I think most of us do in the family, but we don't talk about that.
Okay. It just runs.
Yeah, it just runs. So it's like just something to be mindful. I'll give like the, discretion is advised. Don't jump in. You're not going to be able to get out of it either.
Okay.
Once we start, we don't stop. Someone has to stop eventually, but...
So what about for the other side? What about when you are having your family meet your significant other? Is there anything you tell them to be aware of?
That I tell my family, you mean?
Yeah, when you're like, hey, X person's coming over, like, be aware of...
I guess, just don't bring up, things about, work or school or family matters that might stress her out. Something like that. Or just, don't be, in case of my mom, I'm just going to literally tell her to not freak out at her sister.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know.
Family dilemmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something. It's always something at the house, It's fun for the holidays especially. But we get along.
Sounds awkward.
Yeah, I feel like always meeting family for the first time is awkward.
The thing is, we actually haven't, she hasn't met my extended family yet. She's met my parents, but she hasn't met everyone else, and we haven't spent holidays together. Nothing, no Thanksgiving, no Christmas, at least not yet. But I don't know. Some point, eventually, we're gonna have to cross that road. When we get to it, we get to it.
Of course, yeah.
So
take your time.
This is something I probably should be thinking about.
Maybe.
I mean, I felt like I brought up, I covered all the bases until we started talking about it. Now I'm thinking maybe there's something I might need to look into more about. Maybe I should, I don't know, check.
I guess so.
Balance out.
Yeah, just be prepared. I like to have contingencies and such, Yeah.
Always double check, man.
Mm-hmm. You never know.
Emily,
I
putting
just
it on you.
Well, when I'm introduced my parents to my boyfriend, I was like, just don't be weird, because my mom asks so many questions. My mom's nosy.
Please don't show them the baby photos. Please.
No, it's just like
baby photos.
Please don't show me the pictures of me in the tub. Please don't show me pictures of me in the tub. Please.
Yeah, it's just my dad. If I was born 5 years later, we would have been family vloggers. There's so many bad videos of me on YouTube. Whenever we had a family event afterwards, he'd be
God.
editing the photos.
My dad used to do
and they're all on YouTube, and he will pull them out if given the opportunity. And I'm we don't need to see me on a family vacation when I was 5.
No, that's crazy, because when I was growing up, I used to be more embarrassed. No, when I was growing up, I used to be more embarrassed of the videos of younger me that my parents would take. I'd be please don't post that, please don't play that, and I was really embarrassed about it. But looking back now, I was just a little kid. I don't know why a few years later I was acting oh no, I don't want to see people look at me like I'm a baby. I was still practically a baby.
I think it's just because you think in your mind you're
it's perspective.
Else.
It is perspective, but it I don't know. Now I don't care, but back in the day, I don't want to see me crying over something so minuscule on video. Don't upload that to YouTube and leave it on there, please.
My parents have never done that.
That's so no. I think that's a great thing. Capturing moments just so we can share.
And then uploading it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
My dad
I love it.
uploaded me as my dad made a really cringy video when I was born of me in the hospital rolling around and stuff.
When
and
you
it
were
was
born or something?
When I was an infant, my first year.
Why is that embarrassing to you?
I am
Cringy.
naked in this video.
I just think that you shouldn't.
Not even a diaper. That's crazy.
No, and I'm just this doesn't need to be out there. And he's you can't see anything. I was this is weird. I don't want this.
I just think that you shouldn't upload the videos, especially family videos that are personal to YouTube.
Yeah. You must have some too now.
It depends on
I don't have any on YouTube. My dad was definitely big on taking videos. He's recorded a lot of videos where I'm just what? One time I did talk about this where, my dad did record my mom giving birth to my sister.
Oh my god.
That is not uploaded, but I'm saying like there's videos like that where I'm like, why? There's videos of me crying, when I met Barney. There's videos of me crying when I met the Winnie the Pooh characters. Like I just don't see
like
the point.
My dad, like I'll like look at my dad's
uploading.
Facebook photos of me as a child, and I'm like, we look so miserable, and we look like we just like because me and my brother like we fight now, but like when we were kids, like we beat each other up, like we killed each other.
Damn.
Yo.
We hated each other. We couldn't sit next to each other. Like we hated each other.
So what do you tell your significant other when you're, when they're about to meet the family? Like, what do you tell them?
I'm just like, I'm weird about PDA. I don't want to hold hands in front of my parents. I think it's the Catholicism. Like, it's just so weird for me.
Understood.
Like, it's just like awkward. I don't like, he always feels weird coming over to my house because he's like, I need to like Duggar style it and just like give you a side hug. And I'm like, yeah, it's just me. I'm so weird about it.
So you don't like showing emotion in front of your peeps?
Yeah, no. I'm just like,
Well, I think PDA especially is like embarrassing.
like
hard.
holding
It's
hands. It's just like, oh, this is weird.
Well, do
Like in front of
your
people.
parents do that though? Like, do your parents like hold hands ever?
They don't really hold hands.
Do
They like
ever
love each
show-
other.
Okay. Do they show emotion?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Like I don't know. It's because I'm Irish, so we're just like emotionless.
Wow. Wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
I can't say that I don't think that correlates.
No,
I don't-
like
I
it's
don't
a thing.
understand
Like
that.
when you're like from
Well,
like an
partly,
Irish Catholic family, you like are very reserved.
Well, yes.
You don't show emotion.
I can understand from the Catholic part
Yeah,
of it,
like
yeah.
you're very stiff upper lip, and you just like kind of like
Stiff upper lip.
Okay.
At
That could
least
be
it
a
ain't
band
stank.
name.
Get
Stiff upper lip.
have a few
At least
drinks
it
at
ain't
the
stank.
pub. Maybe they'll loosen up to sharing, opening up a bit more. I think that's usually how it goes,
go
right?
to the pub.
Yeah, go to the
That's
pub.
how you get my parents happy.
Oh, drunken Irish dad.
Yes.
Oh my-
Like that episode of Family Guy where Peter met his real father and it looks exactly like him.
Do they take a lot of pride in fighting like that too? For real then?
Fighting?
Yeah.
They
You know?
don't. They don't fight. They're
No?
just like.
Oh, you mean like brawling?
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, my parents do not have bar fights. I'm very
Well,
proud
not
of
the
them.
parents,
Yeah.
but I think I think you're
like,
getting very
Little Notre
specific
Dame.
with the cliches.
Oh, the fighting Irish.
yeah.
Oh yeah, my
Always
grandpa's very big into Notre Dame.
Yeah, you know?
For me, I would say so when my parents meet my significant other, my mom especially, I love you, Mom, I know you're listening, she likes to do some deep digging, and I always tell her, don't bother. I would rather you meet the person and not have an idea of what they are before, because what if you find out things beforehand? Like, she'll Google search them. She'll Facebook search them.
You know,
she'll look for old accounts.
I
Yeah.
should tell my dad to not stalk people because he does that with like literally everyone on social media.
My
Everyone I know,
mom.
he like will look them up or not look them up. He'll follow them and then everything they do appears in his feed and he will tell me about it. And I'm like, that's great. I saw it too, but it's kind of weird that you're regurgitating all of this information to me so intently. Bless you.
Thank you. That
Bless
sneeze you had passed it on to me.
I call it stalking. He's like, I'm not stalking. It's like, dude, you kind of are. You're telling me all these details.
My mom had me Instagram stalking my brother's secret girlfriend this
What?
summer. He had a secret girlfriend.
Wait, your mom?
It's not
Your
a
mom.
secret anymore.
Yeah, my mom had me Instagram stalking his secret girlfriend.
Yeah, but
How
it's
did
not
she
a
find
secret
out?
anymore now.
Because she was like, it's suspicious that his like air tag's in Bayside all the time. And I was like, yeah, that is suspicious.
AirTag.
Yeah, and I was like, that is suspicious.
Oh my God.
And then we like my dad in his opened my brother's trunk to get like wiper fluid because it was in his trunk, and he saw like a couple Squishmallow like peanut butter and jelly, and he was like, this is suspicious.
Squid like the plushies.
Yes, so
Oh,
like
that's cute.
my family.
Wait for that
Yeah.
one. You hold on to that
Oh,
one.
God.
Oh boy.
You wait.
Oh boy.
You wait.
Oh, you're cooking.
'Cause-
You're cooking us something up.
Yeah. Trust me. For the next
Oh,
topic, you're gonna use that.
Oh, no.
Trust me.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, I feel like the stalking on social media
Yeah.
is a big one. I also feel like I really don't like it. I feel like my dad is more into that. If I'm not paying attention and I take my mom with me, for a second to the kitchen to just like talk or something, I know my dad's drilling the guy immediately. Not like that, but he's definitely asking him, so what do you do for work? How much time do you got on your hands? Are you handy with cars? Are you handy with tools? Do you like to do this? What do you do in your free time? Like, what is your expectations? Like, my dad will definitely like pry in, and that's why I always have to warn my significant other. I'm like, listen, I'm only taking you to meet my family because I trust that, like, this is going to be something long term. If it's not going to be long term, you're not coming to the house. So that's why in the beginning,
it's so much to like go through, and then it's
a lot of obstacles, and that's why in the beginning, like when I'm first meeting that person, I have a lot of rules. I'm like, okay, if I'm meeting with you, you cannot pick me up in front of my house. I don't want my family to know that I'm going with you, because what if I'm not 100% about you yet, and now everybody knows about you? Yeah. I got to avoid that. So I need you to pick me up at the corner. I'm not trying to get paid here. I just want you to pick me up and take me out to dinner. If that dinner doesn't go well, then obviously no round two. But that's one of my big things. I always like to have a phone call. I don't like it when you ring the doorbell. Don't ring the doorbell. It's annoying. And I always tell my significant other, I'm like, listen, my mom, I don't even know what to tell you. I just say, listen, just be extra nice. Make sure you definitely greet my dad. My dad is really big on first impressions. First impression means a lot. And after that, I think you're golden if you pass. That's if you pass. I will know once you leave, and I can tell you as the time goes on if you're going to pass or not. But Shane passed with flying colors. Except for one thing, my dad really thought he was gay when.
Whoa!
That's a big issue.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nah, that's funny because I was just about to say, I hate when parents assume things.
Yeah.
Bro, like they don't even know them, and it's like 5 seconds in, and it's like, I think this guy is he's a little
yeah, my dad like couldn't put his finger on it because he didn't want to be mean to me, but I'm like, no, he's not. He's
I'd hope not.
He's 100% into me, and he's only into women. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm pretty sure. You want me to ask him again? Like, I don't know how many times I gotta ask the guy. But yeah, that was the only really big thing where I was like, seriously? But I like to joke about it now with him. Be like, oh, hey, so are you?
Joke about it now.
Yeah, it's a good joke now. I mean, hey.
Yeah, remember when my dad thought you were gay?
Yeah, he'd be like, and then he likes to go, okay, no more.
No more.
Remember when my dad questioned your sexuality?
And then he's like, okay, all right, no more.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
I thought it's funny, but
it's so funny.
We're talking about basically the reason why we're asking family and your significant other to have warning signs, because a man had his fiance leave him. Ooh. Right? Things didn't go as planned. So
Not
then this
good.
Yeah. So
Yikes.
This guy said, you know what? My fiance left. I'm gonna buy a sex doll.
What?
Name her Karina.
Karina?
Whoa.
And Karina is now his new girlfriend. And he had trouble introducing Karina to his family. I think anybody would. He had
Maybe
spent...
don't introduce Karina to the family.
Isn't this the plot of that one Ryan Gosling movie?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. I didn't watch that one.
This guy, right?
Oh my God.
He had said that, the way that his fiance left him broken and heartbroken for years. He had not done anything with anybody, no dates, nothing intimate. And so he made the decision to spend a little over $2,000 and bought Karina.
But like, if that's like... I don't, like, you could buy that if you want, but, like, you're introducing it as, like, a partner to your
like
parents.
A woman who married
You're bringing it home to your parents and being like,
well, no,
hey.
he doesn't live with them. He's 54 years old.
Right, but he introduced, so what, he brought his parents over into his place? And
So this is what happens.
What?
Pretty much.
Oh, my God.
So Karina was... basically not something he was looking for, but more like something he just found on accident. He was looking for something to keep him, I guess, not as lonely online. And he found her. And so he ordered her. And now he says it finally gives him something to care for. And
No.
he says that this is just a perfect way for him to realize that, like, the grieving of his ex-fiance won't go away and that this is helping him. And so he said
no.
after 2 months of being with Karina, he introduced her to his mom for Christmas.
Oh, that's what the movie was called. It's called Lars and the Real Girl. That's the Ryan Gosling movie.
Can you imagine bringing over...
God. That's like the exact scenario that happens in this movie.
Can you imagine? Can you just tell me, how do you think it would go if you brought over a doll to Christmas as your significant other with your 85-year-old mother?
No, I genuinely...
Death by heart attack. If I have a child and they
would
bring
kill
home
myself.
a sex doll and are like, this is my new boyfriend, I would literally kill myself. I would die. I'd kill
No,
him.
I'd rather die.
Like,
I'd rather die.
that's terrible.
It says here...
I would end it myself.
There is a lot more. So the mom, the mom who's 85 years old, was really
jeez.
disgusted with the
can't.
idea, really grossed
I feel
out.
bad for the parents.
But
I didn't
then
consent to that.
suddenly, after a bit, the 85-year-old woman started picking out jewelry and clothes for Karina and really started embracing
Oh.
the son's idea of love.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. To me,
Well, if
love
it's like
is
a coping mechanism for him, I guess. But like that's a sex doll, my guy.
love to me. It I don't know. Like I come from a lot of places from love. Like I've been pitted with love. I've been put onto a pedestal with love. I've been on a comparison of being on the Empire State Building with love. And I can say that the person who I did love probably didn't even love me back. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But my depiction of love was one-sided, or it was just one, you know what I mean? So him loving a object, or I could see it. I've done it, had that one-sided affection for something.
I get it. But it's like you're bringing this to family.
And-
you don't have.
and-
I feel like you don't have to share.
And
that
it's
with
a
your
bold
family.
thing, right? Like, to me, that's bold as heck.
No, like
to
that's
me.
the thing. Is like
how do you introduce that to your family, knowing that you don't even want pet names, and now you have to introduce something who
Yes,
cannot even
no,
talk,
that is
dog.
that
Cannot-
is insane.
who cannot defend themselves?
That is insane.
And you gotta sit here and be like, yeah, don't call me sweet cheeks around my mom.
Like-
And like, come on, really?
what you
Look
you
at-
do at home is
Ma,
your
look at my
business.
Muppet baby.
Oh my god. No, like what you do at home is your business. But like you don't gotta show your parents.
You know what's the really best? You know what puts the cherry on top of all this?
What?
This is my favorite part.
What? Oh no.
There's some more stuff. As I'm reading, it just gets worse.
No.
So it says here that
Yuck.
this guy, Rod, is what he's going by. Rod, this 54-year-old man, once again, I'm going to recap a bit. He got out of a really rusty relationship with his ex-fiance, bought a sex doll named Karina, right? Then he decided to buy another sex doll, and her name is Lauren.
So he's cheating on Karina?
Oh, no,
Lauren-
wait. Is this like polyamorous now?
Lauren
Like, what
is also $2,000, but he describes her as a daydreamer, and it's Karina's sister now.
So he's with both of two sisters? That's gross.
And as of
What?
now, Rod had also started a long-distance relationship with a woman named Jenny from Vietnam. After purchasing all of these dolls,
Wha-
he finally found an actual woman to be with. And now he's engaged.
I'm sorry?
What?
And when
Someone in Vietnam.
What in the 90-day fiance?
Wait, he's engaged. He's never met this
He's
woman in his
engaged.
life. He's proposed. They're like, okay, we're gonna make this happen. He hasn't met her yet.
she was a little upset when she found Karina and Lauren, but she's come around to it and even has helped him with advice.
I could have said
Excuse me?
I could say I understood the idea,
things
but
people do.
I don't understand the
What?
guy. Like,
I get getting
I understand
attached
the
to
idea, though.
objects and everything, but it's like, dude.
People
like,
are crazy. There's a woman who
Whoa.
married the Eiffel Tower. Like, people just go for it.
Well, it also says here that ever
Nothing
since
bigger
he's
than
been
the Eiffel Tower.
engaged, he doesn't use them for pleasure like that no more. He only uses them for photography, and people like to see, things
Oh,
in that
jeez.
nature, and so he gets money off of it. But he also uses them for whenever Jenny is not around.
Oh.
So I guess Lauren and Karina are back
So
up.
that kind of undoes the first statement you said. He
Yeah.
still uses
I thought he didn't use them, but then when I when I read that he still does. I mean, it's your choice, man. Where you want to
Good
put
for
your
him, I guess. But it's like, did everyone really
You know
need
what he
to
wants to
know
do?
it? Did everyone need
No
to know
one
that?
needed to know.
He
Not
just
a
wants to
soul.
shop around at noodle stores. What can I say?
Oh my god.